25 of the youngest recorded girls who became mothers. 1. Lina Medina from Ticarapo district of Peru gave birth by cesarean section in Lima at age 5.5. The infant weighed 5.9 pounds and was a boy named Gerardo. Medina's parents, who assumed their daughter had a tumor, took her to a hospital where she was then found out to be 7 months pregnant when she was 5 years and 6 months old. She gave birth 1.5 months later. By interrogating her parents, the doctors understood that Medina had entered into precocious puberty. This happens when hormone glands are activated earlier than normal, very early after her birth. Medina's father was arrested on suspicion of sexual abuse, but was later released due to a lack of evidence, and the baby's biological father was never identified. The father is unknown, and this happened in the year 1939. 2. A 6-year-old girl, only known as H, gave birth by cesarean section to a girl weighing 4.2 pounds at Victoria Zanana Hospital in Delhi, India. She was initially admitted for what was thought to be an abdominal tumor, as she had complained of localized pain in her lower abdomen. Her father said she was 7 years old, but civic records gave her birth date at October 11, 1925, making her 6 years and 7 months at the time of labor. She had never menstruated and her breasts were still far from being fully developed, yet she was able to breastfeed her child for 9 months. The father of the baby is unknown, and this was happening in the year 1932. 3. Yelizaveta Pantueva Liza was 5 years old when her 70-year-old maternal grandfather raped and impregnated her. She had her 6th birthday several days before giving birth. Pantueva's parents did not want the obstetricians to perform a C-section, as it was considered dangerous at that time. She gave birth in Kharkiv with the aid of forceps and retractors. The 6.6 pounds infant girl died during labor due to an early placental tear. She had been born at full term and apparently of good constitution, and, according to the doctors, would have survived if she had been extracted more quickly, revived, and oxygenated. After the incident, the family emigrated to Vladivostok, taking the girl's grandfather with them. This took place in the year 1934 in the Soviet Ukraine. 4. Anna Mumenthaler of Lapperswil canton of Bern gave birth to a stillborn girl when she was 8 years old. The father of the child was her uncle, and this happened in Switzerland in the year 1759. 5. Mumsy was a member of Chief Akiri's harem on the island of Calabar. Her daughter also gave birth extremely early, making Mumsy a grandmother at age 17. The father was Chief Akiri, and this happened in the year 1884. 6. An 8-year-old girl gave birth to a healthy baby boy who was fathered by a 9-year-old. They are the youngest recorded parents in combined age. They were farmers with the surname Si from Amoy, Fukien. This happened in China in the year 1910. 7. An unidentified 8-year-old girl in Kashmir reportedly died in labor along with her child. The girl's mother, a destitute widow, said she had been forced to accept an offer of marriage for her daughter. The father was actually the girl's husband. This happened in the year 1933. 8. Griseldina Acuna of San Zenon, Magdalena Department, gave birth to a boy weighing 5 pounds. She was reported to have been menstruating at the age of 3. The father was a friend of the family. This took place in 1936. 9. Hilda Trujillo gave birth to a girl named Maria del Rosario, who was over 6 pounds, at a hospital in Lima. Contrary to what was reported in the Times on December 16, 1957, and many other sources, she was not 9 years old, but was rather 1 year younger. The rapist was her 22-year-old cousin, who had been staying in her family's one-room residence. He was later arrested. This happened in Peru in 1957. 10. Zulma Guadalupe Morales, age 8, her uncle raped her. She gave birth by C-section to a boy weighing 7.04 pounds at a hospital in Guadalajara, Jalisco. This happened in Mexico in 1993. 11. Anya, a little girl at age 7, reached puberty. A 13-year-old neighbor raped her. She gave birth in Rostov-on-Don to a girl. This happened in Russia in the year 2012. An unidentified girl's pregnancy was revealed by a policeman who became suspicious in early September 2004 when he noticed the girl's swollen abdomen and thought she was being exploited by drug smugglers. After the girl had x-rays done, the officer told her mother that the child was pregnant. The hospital confirmed that she was at her 32nd week of pregnancy. The girl revealed that when she had gone to a pharmacy in Ciudad Bolivar to fetch her mother's medicine, an employee there raped her. She gave birth at the Messene Hospital. This happened in Colombia in 2004. 13. Henry Dodd of Rillington, Yorkshire, reportedly delivered a baby weighing 7 pounds to a 9-year-old girl in 1881. The baby was stated to have only 3 toes on its left foot and to have died of convulsions sometimes after birth. The girl reportedly began menstruating at only 12 months old. The father was reportedly a close relative, and this happened in the United Kingdom in 1881. 14. Dr. V.I. Pittman of Calaretta, Mississippi, reported to have delivered a boy weighing 7 pounds to a 9-year-old girl named Estelle P. The father of the baby was unknown, and this occurred in the United States in 1908. 15. A 9-year-old girl from Bakpan, South Africa, gave birth by cesarean section to a baby at the hospital 30 miles east of Johannesburg. The name of the girl is unknown, as is also the name of the baby's father. This took place in 1966. 16. Maria Eulalia Allende, from a village in northern Cordoba province, gave birth to a boy weighing 7 pounds at a hospital in the city of Cordoba. Ernesto Allende, both her cousin and the alleged father of the baby, disappeared 2 months before the child's birth and is being sought by police. This took place all the way back in Argentina in 1966. 17. Venicia Zuagos, a Damara girl, gave birth by C-section to a healthy 6.6 pounds baby boy at a hospital in Ochiwarongo. The baby's father is unknown, and this took place in 1980 in Namibia. 18. Maria Eliane Jesus Mascarenas, an orphan girl adopted by rural farm workers after her mother died in childbirth, gave birth by cesarean section to a 7 pounds baby girl named Diane in Brazil. The baby's father is her adopted 16-year-old nephew in the year 1986. 19. According to information gathered by Amnesty International, Leila Mafi from Iraq, Iran, had been prostituted by her mother starting from the tender age of 8. Leila M. had developed a developmental delay. At the age of 19, she was assessed to have the mental age of an 8-year-old child. She had 3 children, the first at the age of 9, then twins at the age of 14. At 19 years old, she was condemned and faced the death penalty for the moral offenses of debauchery, incest, and illegitimate motherhood. Lawyer Shadi Sadir intervened on her behalf, and her sentence was reduced to public beating and imprisonment. After 2006, Miss M was sent to a rehabilitation center and eventually came to reside in an apartment with a caretaker. This took place in Iran in 1994. Wanwisa Janmok, married at 8, gave birth to a girl when she was 9 at a hospital in Phetchabun. The baby's father was her 27-year-old husband, and this took place in Thailand in 2001. 21. At age 9, Marie from Candelaria de la Frontera gave birth by cesarean section to a boy she named Jose Manuel. Maria stated that her stepfather repeatedly raped her and that he had impregnated her. This took place in El Salvador in 2003. 22. A 9-year-old Singaporean girl gave birth to a boy after a fellow student at her school had impregnated her. Her mother initially thought she had a urinary tract infection, but upon taking her to the doctor, they learned that she was already 6 months pregnant. The baby was eventually placed up for adoption. This took place in 2004. 23. 10-year-old Sally Deweese of Butler County, Kentucky, was reported by Dr. D. Rowlett to have delivered a girl weighing 7.75 pounds. Deweese allegedly developed breasts within weeks of birth and began menstruating at only 12 months old. The father of the baby is unknown, and this took place in 1834 in the United States. 24. Taking advantage of his relationship with her mother that lasted a few months between late 1997 and early 1998, Paul Narvius, age 50, raped the girl 19 times when she was between 9.5 and 10 years old. She exposed him and gave birth in San Mateo County, California. Narvius was revealed to be the child's father via DNA evidence. He was sentenced on September 8, 1999 to 31 years in prison, including a 26-year security and $40,000 fine, with prohibition from reapproaching her mother, daughter, and the baby. This took place in the United States in 1998. Narvius is currently imprisoned in California Men's Colony and will first be eligible for parole in the year 2023. 25. A young girl in Abbeville, South Carolina, gave birth by cesarean section. Her 26-year-old stepfather, William Edward Ronca, reportedly raped her. The baby was placed up for adoption. Ronca admitted to having molested the girl over a 2-year period and was sentenced to 25 years in prison and is currently incarcerated in the Allendale Correctional Institution. His earliest possible release date is April 4th, 2027. This took place in the United States. For more videos like these, please subscribe to my channel. The subscription link is in the video description below. Subscribe.